Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American numismatics. It's small, it's copper, it's everywhere, but one version of it is worth an unbelievable amount of money. We're talking about the 1964 Lincoln penny, a coin that has made headlines by reportedly being sold for as much as $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once worth just 1 cent has sold for over $1 million. And in today's video, we're going to break down why that will explore the fascinating history of the 1964 Lincoln penny, what makes certain versions of it so incredibly rare, and how you can tell if the one in your collection could be worth a life-changing fortune. Let's get into to understand the value of the 1964 penny. We first need to take a step back into history. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a bold move at the time. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny featured Lincoln's profile on the front and two wheat ears on the back. That wheat design continued until 1958. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., marking Lincoln's 150th birthday. So by 1964, we were well into the era of the Lincoln Memorial cent. The 1964 Lincoln penny was minted in huge numbers. In fact, it was one of the most widely produced coins of its time. More than 6.4 billion Lincoln cents were struck in that year, including over 3 billion from the Denver Mint and over 2 billion from the Philadelphia Mint. So the average 1964 penny isn't rare at all. You've probably seen dozens of them without thinking twice. But as always, there's more to the story. Even though billions were minted, a few rare versions of the 1964 penny are now considered extremely valuable due to unusual minting errors, rare varieties, and incredibly high-quality examples. These are the coins that stand out from the rest, and one of them has reportedly sold for an incredible $1.8 million. So how is that even possible? It comes down to three key factors: rarity, condition, and error. Let's start with error. The U.S. Mint produces coins using massive machines and powerful dies. And sometimes, mistakes happen during the striking process. In rare cases, coins are struck using the wrong dies, or struck multiple times, or even struck on the wrong type of planchet. That's the blank metal disc the coin is made from. Some 1964 pennies have been discovered with dramatic double die errors. This means the design on one side of the coin appears doubled. You'll notice it in the lettering, the date, and sometimes even in Lincoln's profile. These errors are incredibly valuable, especially when they're clear and dramatic. Even rarer are the 1964 pennies that were accidentally struck on silver planchets. This is a major minting error. Pennies are supposed to be made from a copper alloy, not silver. But due to leftover blanks from other coin types or transitional issues at the mint, a few silver planchet pennies slipped through in 1964. These are exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors. Next, let's talk about condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded 70 is considered perfect. For modern coins like the 1964 penny, anything graded 65 and above, especially with a bright red color, is considered top quality. These high-grade coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Sometimes much more. The penny that reportedly sold for $1.8 million was not only in pristine condition, but also featured a rare error and possibly a unique metal composition. This combination of perfection and rarity pushed it into legendary status. Now, let's talk about how to identify a valuable 1964 penny. First, look at the color. A bright red penny, as opposed to a dull brown or darker tone, is more desirable. Red color indicates the coin hasn't oxidized and has been well preserved since it left the mint. Second, check for mint marks. The 1964 penny was minted in Philadelphia and Denver. If your coin has a small d under the date, it was struck in Denver. If there is no mint mark, it came from Philadelphia. Third, inspect the date and lettering carefully. If you see any signs of doubling, especially in the words Liberty or In God We Trust, or in the date itself, that could be a double die error. You'll want to look closely with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Fourth, weigh the coin. A standard 1964 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly less or more, or if the color seems off, you might be dealing with a rare planchet error, possibly even a silver strike. If you believe you have a rare 1964 penny, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin damages the surface and can drastically reduce its value. Instead, handle it carefully and take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, high-grade 1964 pennies with red color and strong strikes can still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Rare double-die varieties have sold at auction for tens of thousands. And silver planchet errors? Those are virtually priceless depending on condition. The bottom line is, treasure can still be found in everyday coins. The story of the 1964 Lincoln penny reminds us that history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. So take a second look at those pennies in your drawer or coin jar. Check old collections passed down from family. You never know, one of those coins might be the rare gem that changes everything. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, rare errors, and hidden treasures, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more coming your way. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, that next penny you find could be worth $1 million or more. Let me know if you'd like a version of this script adapted for narration or with timestamps for editing purposes. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, history buff, or just someone who's fascinated by the idea of pocket change being worth a fortune, then you're in the right place. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1971 Lincoln penny. That's right, a 1-cent coin that, under certain rare conditions, has reportedly sold for as much as $1.3 million. You heard that correctly. $1.3 million. For a penny. Now, before we get into the big numbers and auction prices, let's take a step back and look at the history of this coin, why it's so important, and what exactly makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so valuable. Let's get into it. The Lincoln penny, as many of you know, has been in circulation since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin featured his bust on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and wheat stalks on the back, which gave rise to the name wheat penny. This design remained until 1958, in 1959, to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The reverse of the penny was changed from the wheat ears to the image of the Lincoln Memorial. From that point forward, collectors refer to pennies from 1959 onward as memorial cents. So if the wheat penny design ended in 1958, why are we talking about a 1971 wheat Lincoln penny? That's where this story takes an unusual and exciting turn. You see, in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are gold. Literally, coins that were struck with the wrong dies, struck on the wrong planchets, or produced with rare variations are often worth far more than they were ever intended to be. And that's exactly what happened with a few extremely rare 1971 Lincoln pennies. Most 1971 pennies were struck at the San Francisco Mint as proof coins. Proof coins are made specifically for collectors. They're struck using polished dies and specially prepared planchets, and they're usually sold in sets. The San Francisco Mint was the only facility striking proof coins in 1971, and all of those coins were intended to be flawless, high-quality examples. But something happened that year. A tiny handful of 1971 proof pennies were struck using a double die obverse. This means the die used to stamp the front of the coin had a doubling effect in the design. If you look at these coins under magnification, you'll see clear doubling in the word liberty, in the motto "In God We Trust," and especially in the date 1971. This doubling wasn't supposed to happen. It was a minting error. And because these coins were proof strikes, meant to be perfect, this kind of error is incredibly rare. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Only a small number of these double-die 1971 proof pennies are known to exist. Some experts believe fewer than 2 dozen have ever been found. And because they are proof coins in pristine condition with a dramatic error, collectors go absolutely wild for them. One of these coins, in nearly perfect condition and officially graded as Proof 69 Red Deep Cameo by PCGS, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, a penny. 1 cent sold for more than $1 million. Why would anyone pay that much? It comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. This coin was not only a proof error, it was also in near-perfect condition, with deep mirror-like fields and incredible eye appeal. Add to that the fact that fewer than 20 of these are known, and you have a true collector's dream. Let's talk about how to tell if you have one of these valuable coins. First, check the date. You're looking for a 1971 Lincoln penny with an S mint mark under the date. That S means it was minted in San Francisco. Next, check the finish. These coins are proofs, so they'll have a shiny, mirror-like background with frosted raised elements. If your penny looks flat or worn, it's probably not a proof. Then, look closely at the inscriptions on the front. The most dramatic doubling will be visible in the word Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date itself. You may need a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to see the details clearly. If you think you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin destroys its value. Instead, protect it, keep it safe, and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if your coin isn't worth $1.3 million, some of the less dramatic 1971 S double dies have sold for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. And let's not forget, there are still coins like this out there. Some may be sitting in old proof sets. Others might be hidden in collections passed down through families. You never know when or where one will turn up. The next $1 million penny could be found in a dusty old box or hidden in a forgotten drawer. That's the thrill of coin collecting. It's not just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. Every coin has a story, and some of them have the power to change lives. So the next time you're looking through your collection or sorting through old coins, don't overlook the 1971 S penny. It might be shiny, it might be small, but under the right conditions, it could be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got more rare coin stories, valuable finds, and collecting tips coming your way. And who knows, maybe one of your coins will be the next $1 million discovery. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes open. Treasure could be hiding in plain sight. If you need help turning this into a voiceover script or matching visuals for a video editor, just let me know. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're diving into a coin that's part of nearly every American's pocket change. Yet one rare version has reportedly sold for an unbelievable $1.5 million. We're talking about the 1973 D Lincoln penny. A coin that was minted in the billions, often ignored. But hiding within those billions are a few coins so rare and valuable, they've become legendary among collectors. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1973 D penny, what makes certain versions of it so incredibly valuable, and how you can check your own collection to see if you might have one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies in American numismatic history. Let's get started. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The original design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's profile on the front and 2 wheat ears on the back. These are commonly known as wheat pennies. That design lasted until 1958. In 1959, to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the reverse was changed to the image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. That design remained through 2008. So by 1973, the Lincoln Memorial penny was the standard circulating cent in the United States. Now let's talk about the 1973 D penny specifically. The D mint mark under the date tells us this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. Over 3.5 billion Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver facility in 1973, making this coin incredibly common. Most 1973 D pennies are worth only face value and can be found in circulation even today. But, as always, there's more to the story. In the world of coin collecting, the true value of a coin isn't just in how old it is or how many were made. It comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, minting errors, and sometimes even historical accidents. And in the case of the 1973 D penny, there is a rare version that has become the stuff of legend. One specific 1973 D penny reportedly struck on a bronze planchet with an extremely rare double die error and preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition has been valued at up to $1.5 million. Oh, how did this happen? Let's break it down. Starting with the planchet. By 1973, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned to striking Lincoln cents on copper-plated zinc planchets. But in very rare cases, a leftover blank from an earlier batch of coins or from the wrong metal composition can accidentally get fed into the press. In the case of this extremely rare 1973 D penny, it was reportedly struck on a bronze planchet that was no longer standard. That alone made it rare. Next is the error. This particular coin also featured a dramatic double die on the obverse. A double die error happens during the die creation process, when the hub that forms the coin's design impresses it onto the die more than once, but slightly misaligned. This causes doubling of letters, numbers, and features. On this 1973 D penny, clear doubling was visible in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and even in the date itself. Double die coins are extremely popular among collectors because they are easily visible and highly unusual. Now let's talk about condition. This coin was found in brilliant, uncirculated condition with its full original red color. When it comes to modern pennies, color and preservation matter a lot. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and any coin graded above 65, especially with red luster, can command big money. This particular coin was graded Mint State 69 red by a top grading company, which is nearly perfect, so here you have it. A rare wrong planchet, a dramatic double die, and a flawless surface. Three things that, when combined, made one simple-looking penny become one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered. It reportedly sold through a private auction for an unbelievable $1.5 million. And yes, that number is real. High-end coin collectors are willing to spend fortunes for one-of-a-kind or near-unique coins. These pieces are not just money. They're history, they're art, and they're status symbols in the world of numismatics. Now let's talk about how to identify a potentially valuable 1973 D penny in your own collection. First, look at the date and mint mark. You are specifically looking for a 1973 penny with a small letter D under the year. This means it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the front of the coin very carefully. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust." If you notice clear doubling of the letters, especially if the doubling looks crisp and dramatic, you may have a double die. Then check the color and condition. Bright red pennies with no signs of wear, scratches, or fading are more valuable than dull, circulated coins. If your coin has that fresh mint shine and shows no obvious damage, you may want to get it graded. Finally, consider the weight. A standard 1973 D penny struck on a zinc planchet weighs about 2.5 grams. But if your coin weighs more, around 3.1 grams, it may have been struck on a bronze planchet. That kind of error is extremely rare and valuable. If you suspect your coin may be special, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin will reduce its value and make it less attractive to collectors. Instead, place it in a protective coin holder and take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will professionally assess your coin and give it an official grade, which is essential if you want to sell it at auction or to a serious collector. Now you might be thinking, what are the odds I have a $1.5 million penny? Truthfully, the odds are very low. But that's what makes the hobby of coin collecting so exciting. Rare treasures can be hiding in plain sight. Even if your 1973 D penny is not the million-dollar version, coins with minor errors, strong strikes, or excellent preservation can still be worth good money. Many collectors pay hundreds or even thousands for high-quality or unusual examples. So check your change, search those old coin jars, and look through inherited collections. That next coin could be the key to a life-changing discovery. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hidden errors, and rare finds, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We bring you new stories every week that could help you turn ordinary coins into extraordinary opportunities. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and remember, even a penny can be worth a fortune. Let me know if you'd like versions of this script tailored for voiceovers, B-roll visuals, or segmented for editing. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are talking about a coin that is so common, most people overlook it completely. I'm talking about the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, a coin you've probably handled dozens of times in your life. But here's the catch. Under rare circumstances, one of these pennies has been reported to be worth as much as $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny minted in 1996 from the Denver Mint, worth over $1 million. In this video, we're going to break down the full story. We'll explore the history of the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, what makes certain versions of this coin so rare and valuable, and how you can tell if the one in your collection is a treasure in disguise. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny featured Lincoln's profile on the front and two wheat ears on the back. That design became known as the wheat penny, and it remained in use until 1958. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That design remained until 2008. So by 1996, the Lincoln Memorial design had been in place for nearly 40 years, and the Lincoln cent was a familiar part of daily American life. Now let's zoom in on the 1996 D penny specifically. The D Mint mark under the date tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. And as you might expect, billions of these coins were produced. Over 6 billion 1996 D pennies came out of the Denver Mint. So most of them are extremely common. You can still find them in pocket change, in jars, or rolling around in your car cup holder. But as always in coin collecting, the most valuable examples are not the ordinary ones. It's the rare errors, the unusual strikes, the unique varieties, and the perfect condition coins that make all the difference. And that's exactly what happened with a very special 1996 D penny that shocked the coin collecting world by reportedly selling for $1.2 million. How does something like this happen? The value of a coin comes down to three major factors: rarity, condition, and error. Let's start with error. Point one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is finding minting mistakes. These mistakes are rare because the United States Mint has extremely high production standards. But even the most precise machines can sometimes make errors. And when they do, collectors take notice. In the case of the 1996 D penny, one of the most valuable examples featured a dramatic and extremely rare double die error. That means the coin was struck more than once with misalignment, resulting in clear doubling on the front side of the coin. This kind of doubling is most commonly seen in the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust." But what made this specific 1996 D penny even more valuable was the combination of multiple factors. It was struck on the wrong planchet, likely a transitional error where a coin blank intended for a different denomination was used. It had an extremely strong double die on the obverse, and it was graded in nearly perfect condition by a professional grading company. The coin was submitted to a major grading service and came back with a top-tier grade of Mint State 69 red. That is just 1 point away from a perfect coin. The color red in coin grading means the original copper luster is still intact and the coin has not been tarnished or circulated. Coins with red color are always more valuable than brown or red-brown examples, especially in high grades. Because of this combination of condition, error, and extreme rarity, the coin ended up in a high-profile auction where it reportedly sold for $1.2 million. Yes, a modern penny that once sat in someone's pocket became a $1 million prize. Now let's talk about how to tell if your 1996 D penny could be one of the valuable ones. First, look for any signs of doubling. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and carefully examine the date, the lettering, and Lincoln's profile. If you see clear doubling in the letters or numbers, you might have a double die variety. Second, check the weight. A normal 1996 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams because it's made of a copper-plated zinc composition. If your coin is heavier or made of a different metal, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet. That kind of mint error is extremely rare and valuable. Third, look at the condition. Coins in mint state condition, especially those that still have their original red shine, are far more valuable than coins that are worn or tarnished. If your coin has no scratches, no wear, and looks brand new, it may be worth having it professionally graded. Fourth, check for off-center strikes or other unusual features. Coins that are noticeably off-center, have die cracks, or show other striking issues can also be worth money to collectors. Now you might be thinking, what are the odds that I have $1 million penny? Honestly, the odds are low. But they're not zero. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's a treasure hunt. And sometimes, that treasure is hiding in plain sight. Even if your 1996 D penny isn't worth $1.2 million, certain varieties and mint condition examples can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There are collectors right now looking for error coins and paying big money for the right pieces. So what should you do if you think you have something special? First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning a coin can ruin its surface and destroy its value. Next, place it in a safe coin holder to protect it from damage. Then take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate and grade your coin, which is essential if you want to sell it at auction or to a serious collector. In conclusion, the story of the 1996 D penny reminds us that even the most ordinary-looking objects can be extraordinary under the right circumstances. A small copper coin, minted in the billions, can still be worth more than a luxury car or even a house, all because of a tiny mistake and a bit of luck. So take another look at your spare change. Search through your coin jars, your old piggy banks, and your family's forgotten coin collections, because the next $1 million penny might be hiding where you least expect it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more coming your way. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Let me know if you want this adapted for voiceover narration or split with visual suggestions for video editing. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for tuning in. Today's video is about a coin that might be hiding in your pocket, sitting in a jar on your shelf, or tucked away in a relative's old coin collection. I'm talking about the 1960 D Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, one of these tiny copper coins has been reported to sell for an astonishing $1.4 million. That's right. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent ended up being worth more than most people's homes. In this video, we're diving deep into the history of the 1960 D Lincoln penny, why it's so rare, what makes it valuable, and how you can tell if you have one that could be worth a fortune. Let's get right into it. To understand the value of the 1960 D penny, we need to go back to the beginning. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than Lady Liberty. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it featured Lincoln's bust on the front and 2 wheat ears on the back. These are commonly referred to as wheat pennies, and they were minted from 1909 to 1958. In 1959, the reverse side of the Lincoln penny changed from the wheat design to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This change was made to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. So technically, the wheat penny series ended in 1958. However, the 1960 D Lincoln penny still holds the attention of collectors and investors because of a very special reason. In 1960, the U.S. Mint made a small but important change to the date design on the penny. That year, there were 2 variations released, the large date and the small date versions. Both were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver Mint coins carry the D Mint mark under the date. While this change might seem insignificant to the average person, for coin collectors it made all the difference. The small date 1960 D penny became highly sought after due to its lower mintage and relative rarity. But what really pushes the value of this coin into the stratosphere is when it's paired with mint errors and perfect condition. Let's talk about those errors for a second. Some of the 1960 D small date pennies have what's called a repunched mint mark, or RPM. This happens when the D mint mark was accidentally punched more than once during the minting process, creating a visible doubling effect on the letter D. This type of error significantly increases the value of the coin. Another type of error collectors look for is a doubled die. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin has a doubling of the design, usually visible in the lettering or numbers. A doubled die combined with a repunched mint mark and a small date, that's the ultimate jackpot. Now let's talk about condition. Coin collectors and grading services use a scale from 1 to 70 to judge a coin's condition. Coins graded over 65 are considered gem condition. Add to that the original red color, which indicates the coin hasn't tarnished or darkened over time, and you've got a truly rare specimen. A 1960 D penny that is a small date, with a repunched mint mark, no signs of wear, and that original red color can easily be worth thousands of dollars. But in one rare case, a pristine 1960 D Lincoln cent with unique characteristics was reportedly sold for an incredible $1.4 million. This wasn't just a nice coin. It was the best-known example of its kind. A coin that checks every box for rarity, condition, error, and collector demand. You might be wondering how something like that can even happen. The answer lies in the world of serious numismatics. High-end collectors and investors are always searching for the finest known examples of rare coins. When a coin is one of a kind, it becomes more than a piece of currency. It becomes a historical artifact, a treasure, and people are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. Now here's the exciting part. You might have one of these coins and not even know it. So here's how to check. First, look at the date. Compare it to known images of the 1960 small date versus large date. On the small date, the 0 in 1960 appears smaller and is more level with the other numbers. On the large date, the 0 looks larger and sits higher than the 6 and the 1. Next, look for the mint mark. The letter D should be under the date. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for signs of a repunched mint mark. Look for doubling or shadows around the date, then examine the overall condition. If the coin is bright red and has no scratches, nicks, or wear, you may have something special. If you believe your coin fits the criteria, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can drastically lower its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and evaluation. And finally, keep in mind that even if your coin isn't worth millions, some 1960 D pennies can still be worth a lot. Many examples in excellent condition with minor errors have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So it's always worth taking a closer look. To wrap things up, the 1960 D Lincoln penny is one of those coins that proves treasures can come in small packages. It's a reminder that history is all around us, even in the change in our pockets. And for one lucky collector, that little copper coin turned into a $1.4 million discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable pennies in American history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. We'll be covering more rare coins, valuable collectibles, and money mysteries in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting. That next coin could change your life. If you'd like a version with visual or B-roll cues, voiceover timing, or formatted subtitles, just let me know.